Okay, this is a video for the Tin Audio T1. This, I guess, would be the younger brother or the previous version before the T2 Pro and the T2. I haven't done a video comparison between the two of these. I think I like the T2 original better. This is my personal opinion on that, but I'll get into that another time. Go ahead and take the plastic off of this. Okay, got the plastic off. It looks like, obviously, before, I gotta assume that a T1 came before the T2, but it looks like they did the same thing as they did with the T2, with the T1, which is have a very cool case. This is one of my favorites, actually. I really like this. It's like a weird little book. Open it up, and I assume it's going to be like what I've seen before, which is going to be the two, and then the plug is going to split up the middle. Never seen it. I gotta think that's what it's gonna be. Okay, that's a little different. Pop this out. The cable underneath, and we got tips. Okay. Oh, it's like a puzzle. Take this off. Push this down, push this down. First thing that's jumping out at me is this does not have a removable cable. You guys know I love my cables. I believe this is a 12.5 millimeter single dynamic. And it's made of metal, and this company did really well with their other T2, which was also dynamic based and in a metal shell. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at tips. I'm going to be taking the big ones right here. Hold on a second. Okay, please ignore the error of tagging right there. That'll be fixed. This is Sexual Healing, Marvin Gaye. This sounds really nice. I'm trying not to speak too much on purpose. I listened to No More, No More. Piano was fine. Listening to Marvin Gaye, the male vocals sound excellent on this. I would say that the male vocals sound better on this than they sound on the T2. The cable doesn't come off. That's the thing, man. This is a over ear. You wrap it over your ear and put it in. I wonder why. Maybe it's because of the design. I wonder why they didn't try to go with this with a removable cable. The treble is not fatiguing whatsoever. The mids sound fantastic. I did Bone Crusher for bass. Of course, you would think that a 12.5 in a metal shell would pump, and it does. It hits hard. It hits harder than the T2. T2 is balanced. T2 Pro has got emphasis in the treble. This doesn't sound like it has emphasis in the treble. It sounds closer to the original T2 with more bass, which is what I wanted, not more treble, which was what the T2 Pro did. I wanted more bass. If I was going to pick something for the T2 Pro, I would have lifted the bass and not the treble. That's my personal opinion. Weakness about this is that the cable doesn't come off, but it sounds really nice. Let me go back to that messed up tag. It'll be fixed next time I do a video. Marvin Gaye sounds really, really nice on these. How much do these cost? These would be a good beater set to, if you lost them. I mean, if these are less than 50 bucks, I think these would be the easy wreck. Damn with the cable, man. I usually don't even do reviews of IEMs that have attached cables, but because it's the brother of this, yeah, give it a shot. And it turns out the vocals sound absolutely fantastic on these. They sound better than the T2 in the mids to my ears. Has anybody reviewed these? I really don't check other people's sites because I try to prevent myself from getting like a bias. It happens, man. I've seen other people do it from me. It happens. You got to actively protect yourself. Did anybody review these? And has anybody compared them to the T2s? I would say that these are probably the more relaxed, enjoyable, mid-centric listen than the T2s, which are more balanced, but doesn't seem like the mids are any more... Mids are funny, man. You don't want them in your face, but you also don't want them recessed. It's hard to get them right. Whatever the tuning is with these, they did it well. I don't do titles for my reviews, but this would be something that's got the word mid in it. These mids sound very, very nice. Marvin Gaye sounds really good. How much did these cost? Why didn't they do this with a detachable cable? This might have been a real good winner. And maybe it was. When I reviewed the T2, I didn't even know it was on the market yet. And I think it was for a long time, actually. These have probably been on the market for maybe years. I just don't know about them, really. They sound nice. Do I wreck them? If they're affordable like the T2 and you're okay about cables, yeah, I would. These are something that wouldn't have the fatigue that the Pros might have. And it sounds like it's got at least as good or better mids, and the bass is clearly stronger. But it doesn't seem to be bothering the vocals so much. The bass line, like a syncopatic bass on a deck plus a bassist, and this sounds nice. This was a review or a video I almost didn't do because I thought, you know, this thing must be years old. But then the low 2 paw, that was old too, and I think I'm totally in love with that thing. The low 2 paw MK 5002 is just absolutely fantastic. These are very nice, man. How would I compare these? I would pick these over the V80s because the V80s have a pronounced, not pronounced, but they're clear lack of mids, and that's okay because it's got a very rich, and I like the sound that the V80s put out. Which one would I pick? I'd pick these without question if the cable was changeable. Even with the cable being stuck on it, which sucks, I would still pick these on sound if someone said I wanted a relaxed listen, and they're not religiously against attached cables. If Tin Audio ever, you guys really ought to reboot this. Why don't you do a T1 Pro? Leave it exactly the way it is and do it with a detachable cable. Because the bass on this is fantastic and the mids are awesome. Treble seems fine. It sounds non-fatiguing. I don't hear any spikes or anything in the treble. I like these a lot. I like these better. I'm going to compare them directly with the T2 Pros. They're handicapped because of the cable. People think, who cares about cable? And then everybody thinks I do, because we all do. I might end up being one of these, might end up being something I start putting in my pocket. Shockingly, this was in a box for like a week and a half to 2 weeks, and I was going to grab a headphone today, MSUR beryllium headphones, and I saw this box and I thought, listen, might as well do a listen to them. And it turns out they're really nice. This is 8 minutes, and that's plenty of time. If I do a video, it'll be a comparison with the brother, because I'm a little bit interested suddenly. I don't know what. This is actually not bad because it pulls the cable down, and it's got an inline. It's the cable that I wouldn't want. At least it's not really messed up spider-wise. Sound is really nice. Some companies do stuff right. T2, or Tin Audio, obviously is good at what they do. BGVP got better, I guess, at what they do because they released 2 in a row that I think are really good. The T2s are great. I like both of them. I think I prefer the original version. This came before that, I would assume, T1, and it sounds good too. So some companies just got good sense. That's kind of why I opened this box and did this today. Cable connected thing. When's the last time you saw a video on my channel of earphones with the cables connected? The Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. That was like a gag video that turned out to be not bad for $12 or whatever those were. These are not bad. I'll go ahead and stop rambling on with you guys. If you get a chance to listen to these, you ought to try them. If you're a fan of the T2 and you wanted a little more bass in the Pro instead of the treble, That's what this sounds like. With better mids, man. I don't know anything about these. Like, what is the claim about the drive or nothing. Same as you watching this video, just that I have it in my possession. I got the other two right here. Comparison with the T2 will be coming. And I'm out. Surprise.